Oh, hello there, traveler, and welcome to Kymaticus, where through the roles we play, we spin our tale. This is our weekly D&D 5e session here on Forward Unto Saves. I am joined by my companions. Tyler, playing the Divine Soul Sorcerer, Cercius and Agnos. John, playing Eldon Roland, the Eldritch Knight Fighter. Cassie, playing Rona Thimbly, the Life Domain Cleric. And Dylan, playing Hector Stoneborn, the Oath of Conquest Paladin. And I am Alexander, your Weaver of Tales. So, hang up your cloak, grab a drink, and kick back as we dive into this chapter of Kymaticus. Ow! Ow! Let us begin. Yay. So, where we last left off. Rona Thimbly, you finally fulfilled something that has been a long time coming. You took the throne from your Aunt Rosa, and now wear the crown of the Queen of Kavorat. After a hard-fought battle to the throne room, and after reclaiming, you went into a council with your new peers of Kavorat. And you learned there are a lot of things going on. The potential to reignite the 100-Year War is much more reality than it is fiction. In your first council meeting, you were notified that Kavorat captured not only the 214th voyage to Uthal on their way back, but they also captured what they claimed to be a couple of Radeshi spies. Spies from the Radesh Dominion is what they are believed to be. You take your group, including Hector, Eldon, Var, Cercius, Ennius, H.O.P.L.I.T.E S, and Tobias.
Only a couple.
I think isn't Velzan there too?
And Velzan is there too.
Only a few of us.
Only
Take them into the cells beneath the keep of Castle Bemiar. You walk up to the bar and see a very familiar face, as one of the two Radeshi spies captured is your old friend, Saren Morenstern, who you last saw months ago after you returned from your voyage to Uthal. And this is where we begin. Saren steps forth. Rona?
Saren?
She looks at the crown on top of your head. You're their queen.
Listen, this is very, very recent. Who can open this door?
Ozzy looks at you. You're right near new right-hand man. Snaps his finger. One of the guards comes forth with a ring of keys and unlocks the door, slides it to the side. Saren steps forth, fully out of the shadows, and behind her, another woman with light blonde hair, thin, maybe 5.5 feet, definitely in pirate attire. A sweaty and dirty bandana wrapped around her forehead, and where once used to be what looks like a cutlass. As she steps forward, you hear from behind you, Hector, the voice of Turles Hawk, one of your trusted allies. Tamara? Turles steps past you, Hector, not even really paying attention to you being there, and looks at this new woman in front of you. This Tamara looks back to him, shocked. Tamara, is that you? Well, look at you. Baby brother all grown up in shining armor.
Baby brother.
Oh.
You didn't know?
He was a single child for all I knew.
Turles continues. Why did you leave, Tamara? Father was devastated when you ran away. I couldn't stay, Turles. I begged our parents to leave. I begged you to come with me. We were children, Tamara. And I have a duty to my kingdom, and now to Hector. Hector? What happened to the king? She looks to you.
He's gone. Minecraft was attacked. We're pretty much just a few of all that's left.
Sorry to hear that. It was a pretty place. But now, she looks to you, Rona. Are we free to go?
I would like to know what's going on first. If that's... Well, of course it's all right, I guess. Saren, why are you in a Kavorat prison?
It's a long story. I came looking for Tamara.
I see you found her.
I found her off the eastern coast of Radesh, way off the eastern coast. I found her, and long story short, we need to sail east of Ilimsara. As you remember, my mother was taken. Silverfang, allegedly, has outreached over to the continents far beyond Ilimsara, far to the east. There are no maps known to them except here in Kavorat. Tamara speaks up. I came this way because allegedly the maps to the eastern world exist here. I've come to steal them.
Awesome. Do we have maps like that?
The maps do exist. There are multiple of them, so if you wish to gift this pirate one of the ancient maps, yes, we have the capability to do so. But be warned, the western and eastern world were cut off by the corruption of Ilimsara during the falling. It is now a land uninhabitable and filled with demons.
Right. Saren, are you sure?
We're sailing, so we should be okay. Demons don't swim, do they? She looks over to Tamara. Tamara says, I've got this, don't worry. Maps, please.
You've seen me swim before, so obviously they can.
Yes, can we have a copy of one of those maps for my friend, Saren? Not the pirate. If it sounds better to you.
I'm still surprised to hear Kavorat has maps of the lands of the fallen.
Kavorat has a lot of things from the old world. A lot of things that we try not to share. But for you, Honora, anything.
I would like to roll an insight check.
You go ahead.
Okay.
Sharon hasn't seen me since I changed. Was there a reaction when I said you've seen me swim?
Yeah, actually. What'd you get on the insight check?
22.
22. So, as you say that, Saren does glance over to you. Circeus, your skin
That's right. Last time you saw him, he was growing hooves.
and horns.
And a tail.
And was ugly.
You look normal, except you're glowing. Your veins are glowing. Your eyes are brighter.
He's trying to copy me.
What?
I mean,
Yeah, you
want
shut
to.
it.
That's true.
There's been a lot of things that's changed and a lot of things we found out, but yeah, it's me, no doubt about it.
She smiles. It's good to see that you are finding your true self.
Are their clothes dirty?
Are their clothes dirty? I mean,
Yeah, I want to use the shard to try and give them all new clothes.
all new clothes? Oh, God. All right.
I told you it's gonna be used for the slightest convenience.
All right. You
So powerful.
kind of hold out the shard. You keep it a little bit hidden, but you do attempt to use it. Go ahead and roll me a D100.
83.
83. What do you want their clothes to look like?
Just kind of more relaxed, you know when we were in that town having a party before we tried to come over to Kavorat,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody got their relaxed clothes?
Yeah.
I want to try and mimic that.
Gotcha.
Civvies.
Huh?
Civvies.
So,
No.
you have a high enough check. You are able to successfully pull that off. Both Saren and Tamara are now wearing clean clothes that look rather comfortable to be in. Saren looks pleased. Tamara,
It's okay. That's-
give it back, sorcerer.
I'll look at Saren. Yes, a lot of things have changed, and I'll try and make hers go back.
You're able to without too much hassle. You return Tamara back to her pirate, nasty-looking self. Your insight check. Ozymandias, your new right-hand man, is not extremely pleased with your leniency with the Radeshi spies that they captured. However, he does show some passion to your family. And begrudgingly, he agrees. And you can tell there's no hint of betrayal, just worry. But as he says his statement, Ozymandias says to you, I suppose you would like to come with us to the archives instead of staying in a cell.
Yeah.
Very well. Follow me. I shall lead us all. As Ozymandias leads your group, along with Ennius, Turles, Tamara, Saren, and everyone else, 2 Silver Rose guards back you up. They trail you from the end, just to keep a good watch on their new queen. You walk up and out of the dungeon. As you make it up to the first long hallway, back on flat ground, you walk forth maybe about 100 feet before you hear a sudden gust of wind, a violent gust of wind. Behind you, the 2 Silver Rose guards in their full plate armor are smashed to the side walls of this hallway. As they clang against the walls, they scrape down and fall. Ozymandias turns. His threaded cane transforms into its whip form. And as you all turn, you see a blue-skinned monk drop from the ceiling.
Corwin!
As he drops, he holds a staff pointing right in your direction, and he says, "Unhand Saren."
She's not handed at all.
Rona?
Corwin? Yes?
It's been a while.
Who is this guy?
He is a friend of Saren's.
Okay, so no kill immediately.
Don't kill him.
Okay,
He looks
cool.
at Saren. "You're not handcuffed or anything, are you?" "No.
How did you get in here?
We came here together, Rona.
Right.
And if you didn't know that, Saren, good job." Anyways. Sorry. Noble knights. Ozzy looks to you.
You and
Is
I...
anyone an actual threat to you, my queen?
He's just an old friend.
No, not a lot of people.
She can handle herself if anyone is a threat to her.
Right.
But if you see older versions of us, those guys are suspicious.
Okay. Onward to the archives. Silver Rose, stand down at your queen's behest. The Silver Rose, the two guards, confused. So people can just throw us against the walls now and it's just okay. I remember a time when that was a crime. Sometimes punishable by death. The other Silver Rose responds, "I do remember that time, but we are under new management. I say we see what she has. Maybe she's got a bigger heart. And it could lead to a better nation."
Hey,
Sorry.
let's go, homeboy.
As they're walking forth, you all make it to the archives within Castle Vemiar. Ozymandias, after walking briefly in to these tables that are laid out for studying, "Wait here, I'll find it." And he walks behind a bookshelf and out of sight within the archives. Silver Rose guards stand post on the outside of the door, and you all are inside of the archives waiting for Ozymandias to return.
Is there like an official librarian, like someone whose job is to like check the books, make sure they're all right?
You see a couple of scholars here, but they don't look like they're here to tend to customers or anyone that would be coming into, say, a library. They look like they're more sorting and organizing.
Okay.
This isn't your check out a book place.
You
However-
said that. Oh, sorry.
Well, go ahead, Tyler.
I thought you were done. I'm sorry. You said that woman's name was Tamara.
Tamara. Tamara.
Yes.
Tamara
right.
Hawk.
It's one.
As
I'll let you finish, and then I'm gonna walk up to her.
You're good. As you all are in here, you can hear Turles and Tamara talking a little bit, and they do get a little bit louder. "It's not too late to come back, sister. Your country needs you. We could really use your help." "It's not really my country anymore, brother. I feel sorry for you, I feel sorry for Hector, but I've got my own path to tread, and you do you. Let's just walk our own paths, and maybe we'll see each other again one day." She kind of gives him a little pat on the shoulder, very cold for not seeing someone for such a long time. As she turns to walk away, Cerseus, you have a moment to speak with her.
So is there any reason you don't want clean clothes? Do you want clean versions of this, or... I'm trying to be nice. You are a friend of an old friend.
I understand your hospitality, but look at what I'm wearing. It's not exactly proper clothes, is it? The reason why is because I picked this off of a very tough-to-kill pirate. I wear it as a trophy. a trophy of my accomplishments and what I have done on the high seas. But anyways,
What was their name?
I do appreciate your clothing, wardrobe transformation thing. It's just not up my alley.
I'm gonna turn around and just be like, does anybody still have Orion's head?
No, we had to throw that in the sea long ago.
Orion.
Yes,
I heard a tale that he was slain by a ship with some of the biggest names in bounty hunting, pirating.
Hopefully you'll trust us now.
If anything, I think you've just put a bigger goal mark on our head.
Well, good job. I lost a good old friend to Orion. Her name was Sybil. She was like a sister to me. I hope whenever you dealt with Orion, you at least put them out of their misery. If they were still captured. Tortured.
We did what we could, and I'm sorry for your loss.
Ozymandias returns. I have the maps. I have retrieved one that does show every continent beyond the eastern side of Ilimsara. This should be plenty for you. He walks up, hands it to Tamara, as she takes it. She doesn't even open it. And what about the rest? What do the rest have in them? Ozymandias kind of snatches his hand back. None of your business. Is one sufficient, Honora?
Saren, you think that'll be enough?
It's what we came for, Tamara. It's what we came for. Tamara just turns around, starts opening up the map, looks through it. 5 continents. They're all here. All accounted for. This should be enough. At least to put us in some type of direction. How old is this map? Old. He walks off to put the rest back. Tamara walks up to one of the tables, lays out the map, and points to a continent northeast of Ilimsara. There you are, Saren. That's where we need to go.
Is there a name, like, on the map for that continent?
As you try to look over, Tamara turns to you and snatches the map away.
It's an odd way to return generosity.
It's covering my tracks. Sorry. Saren speaks up. She's a wanted woman. There's actually a big bounty out on her. And it was risky trying to find her, but she doesn't want anyone knowing anything.
Pretty sure my bounty's bigger.
Has it grown since the last time we met, Cerseus?
Give or take a little bit, maybe.
Are you sure you're safe with her, then?
I'm safe. She just has her methods.
Yeah, her methods got you in a Kavorat prison, dear.
Well, yeah. And look, now her methods have us talking to the queen and with a map.
No, that was not her method.
I can see both sides of the argument.
She's the only one I have right now, Rona. The only lead to my mother. The only lead. I have to trust her. Either that or I become a captain myself and sail, which I know nothing about.
I mean, it's always an option. You could stay here and potentially learn. That's a long shot.
I miss you too, Rona. I miss all of you. I've got to find my mother. Luckily, Tamara was smart enough to not approach the Kavorat shore on her actual ship. It's still out there on the ocean. We just need a vessel to take us to it. Could we borrow one? They did impound my rowboat.
Oh, Lord.
I'd like it back.
You just need a rowboat to get you to your vessel?
Yeah, all I need.
As Osmake is back.
Ozzy walks back right now. He sees you like putting your hand to your forehead. What now?
Well,
Could we get this lovely woman's rowboat back to her? That way she doesn't try to do something more stupid and get one of my best friends imprisoned someplace else.
As you wish, my queen. I could take you now, if you would like. Tomorrow. Saren, what do you say? Go ahead, quicker we get out, quicker we get to... She kind of looks to you, where we're supposed to go. Corwin speaks up. I have a friend who taught me a little trick. A trick I believe that you used once on me before. When we reach important destinations, Rona, I can message you.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll let you know how things are going, how Saren is, and whether or not we actually really need help.
If you could let me know you need help maybe a little before you're in a position where it's dire.
Do my best. Saren turns to you. She kind of loses her words and just goes forward to give you a hug.
I'll give her a hug.
As she hugs you, she reaches out, grabs Hector's armor, pulls him in. Reaches out, grabs Cerseus by the robes, pulls him in. And then reaches out, tries to grab you just a little bit far. As the second you come within arm's grasp, she grabs you and pulls you in. And then Var stumbles up. You can hear Saren muffled. You can hear her muffled voice say something to you, Rona. Your brother is still an asshole.
Good thing some things never change, right?
As you all kind of retract from the hug. I've got to go.
Okay. Do you want to eat something before you have to head out?
I've got food on this ship. Thank you, though, Queen. The quicker we go, the better. I love you all. I want to see you all again one day.
You will.
you will.
Before I go, though, have we ran into...
Yes.
What happened last?
I don't want to talk about it.
Didn't end so well for our end.
She looks at your halberd at the top, which is shattered.
There's no chance of any. Just remember, if you see them, they're enemies.
Hector, do the thing. Do the thing.
Oh yeah. I'll hold it on. Just Silphra, and then I'll light up the blade.
As you hold out...
No, not that thing. The other thing.
Well, as you hold out...
I have a lot of things.
Yeah, as you hold out a Silphra,
Oh,
the long, decorated, beautiful halberd, the larger blade shattered. But as you summon your once angelic guide, Asofra. The weapon ignites. The blade fills with radiant light, filling where the broken blade, where the pieces used to be. As you do, light ignites within a radius of the blade. Saren's face lights up, amazement over her eyes. Wow. A lot's happened.
Ah. And the trick that Circeus wants me to do.
As you do that, you make a halo appear above your head. Is that a headache light?
Feels like it sometimes. But it's something I picked up that Gary gave me a book.
Gary?
Oh, Gary Asarvan?
Nasaran.
Asaran. Gary Asaran. He's a dragon. Lives in Mare Deep.
You met a dragon. Wow.
Met quite a few dragons.
Well, I had a run-in with a fully grown kraken.
No, you did not.
I did. A run-in and a run-away.
Good.
The Kraken ran away. That's what happened.
Oh no, that was big. It's somewhere in between Ilamsara and our in Tirafel. It's big, but we were able to escape. I did hear, as Tamara has word of Orion. Good job. When I heard it, I knew it had to be you all. But she looks over to Tamara. Tamara's just like, today, please. I should go.
I'll give her another hug.
She hugs back.
And I'm just going to whisper in her ear. Listen. The hint of that woman doing anything to harm you, you let me know?
Yes, ma'am.
She has no idea what will come upon her.
She whispers back, I imagine the nation's wrath. She gives you one more squeeze and pulls back.
I guess that is a thing I can do now.
Goodbye, everyone. I love you all, and I will see you again one day. I promise. She
Safe
backs
travels.
up. Corwin. I don't remember you,
I don't know who you are.
but if we ever see each other in the Riverstone pub again, I'm up for a rematch. You all look a lot more powerful than last we met. Could be fun. So long, everyone.
Bye, Corwin.
Tamara says, finally. Nice meeting you, Queenie and everyone.
Ugh,
Good
I
day.
don't like that.
She turns with her map. As she walks out, she starts to open it. Where's my ship? Saren says, and Ozzy says, I will escort her. Rona, before I depart, I need to speak with you.
Okay.
Alone.
Okay.
He kind of just gently puts his arm on kind of your back of your left arm, and he walks you off to the side. Let us be clear with one another, Rona. I know you have unfinished business outside of Kavorat. All of the people in this country awaited your return for decades. If you have things that you must do, they can wait a little while longer. With the Black Sands regressing and the South destabilized, you have provided us time that we need. Tonight, we're going to host one more council. Collect your thoughts, meet us in the chamber, so we can plan what is to come. I imagine you wish to depart soon. Am I right?
I think so, yes.
Meet in an hour.
An hour.
9 sharp. I'm coming, pirate lady. He walks off. The rest of you are left alone in the archives. Silver Rose, 2 guards still outside. Anything you wish to speak of?
I'll check up on Turles.
Turles is just kind of leaning against. No, he'd be sitting down. he's sitting down in a chair, just like taken aback after watching his sister leave. You walk up. It's been almost 20 years, Hector.
Well, if it's been that long, that explains why I never knew you had a sister.
Father was devastated when she left, and then aggravated beyond all belief. In the beginning, we thought she was misunderstood, and then he started to blame her. Says that she abandoned us. I never saw it that way, but I can't lie, it does hurt to see her and know that she doesn't wish to come back, doesn't wish to fight for what was our home, where we were born, where we were raised. But also, I can't help but be immensely proud.
She seems like a strong woman.
The captain of her own crew. She told me the name of her ship. Freedom's Oath.
It's a strong name.
She always felt we were slaves to the war. And maybe we were. Maybe we are. She made her own. And I commend her for that. Although, I don't think I could ever have the same mindset. I don't think I could ever walk away from Alvaron, from you. I want you to know that. My duty is with you, Hector, to the end.
Thank you, Turles. I never doubted you.
I know there is a small age disparity between us, and maybe an even greater one of royalty, but I hope you don't mind if I say I do look to you as a younger brother, a companion, a true ally.
It's fine. After all the things we've been through and everything that's happened, it's nice to still feel like I have some family left.
As long as I'm around, you always will. Anyone else wish to speak to anyone during this time?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Rona, I have a favor to ask.
If it has anything to do with Ozum, Angus, I don't think I have favors left. But continue.
I was actually going to ask if I could get a map of the stars. I've had this itch in the back of my head lately. Can't really seem to scratch it. I just want to check something.
Are there the scholars still, like, milling about?
Yep.
Excuse me, to whomever was nearby.
As you call out, you do see one woman, braided back hair, almost like cornrows, a grayish skin. She looks to you. Her robes that she wears is a kind of a long white gown. Roses on the seams, kind of threaded, almost looking like laces.
Mm-hmm.
But as you call out, she looks over to you. Oh, Your Highness, how may I help you?
Do we have any kind of star maps here?
I believe we do. Allow
Would
me
you-
to look.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've waited a long time for you. The return of the lost child.
So I've heard.
Let me find that star map for you.
Thank you.
She turns and walks away. As she's doing that, anyone else?
Rona, I'd also like to see a map of the East. I want to see what that land looks like and what we may find out there.
When she comes back, can I have asked that before she wandered off? Okay. When she comes back,
Hey, lady, I need a map.
I tried to interject, but I was like, that's rude.
Anyone else wish to speak to anyone?
I want to see a map.
Anyone else wish to speak to anyone?
Yes, just as a general announcement, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 1 hour to figure out how to convince a council of 4 people to not go to war with most of our homes.
With all due respect, Rona, you're the queen. You just tell them no.
I think that will work for a while, but I don't know if that can hold them off forever. These people are angry. And rightfully so, unfortunately.
It's only a while that we need. We can at least keep them... We can hold them back for a couple weeks. That'll give us enough time for me to talk to... I can talk to Wormbreaker up in Sarum and maybe talk to someone in Tyr. I can figure out something to... give them a,
Satiate the thirst.
yeah, like yeah, exactly. As long as we can give them something, then I think they'll be fine.
It just
You
seems they want reparations repaid. I mean, you heard them. They had no food. That's very immoral and illegal to do, even if you're in a war. So,
And if there's some breach of contract, then perhaps we have a leg to stand on.
maybe we should ask that lady when she comes back to see if there's a copy of the contract here. So we can pore over it and come with our notes and knowledge when we go back.
That's actually a really good idea.
That's a really good idea.
If we have a contract, I can just take it to the Emperor himself. Figure out why he decided not to uphold it.
It's true. That could work.
Occasionally there's a good thought up here. Occasionally. And I'll start setting out the maps that I have of the continent. Just kind of arranging them and just waiting for the star map.
All right.
And while that, I still want to continue that conversation. Do we know how the barrier around Kavorat works? Because if you're the queen now, could we go through it freely using teleport?
I don't
I
know.
could take Hector there and we could discuss with the Emperor and be back in no time, or in a day.
I feel like we should solve the problems here first. So that way we aren't having too many pots on the stove, you know?
I just figured it'd be good to get the way.
I mean, trust me, you're not the only one that really wants to go home. So,
It's a good thought, though. Let's figure out how these barriers work, too.
The woman returns with the star map. She gives you a couple, and she tells you the one she gives you. The first one is the stars that you can see in the sky from here. Since it's a plane, northern and southern hemisphere don't really fit super well.
Right.
But she does give you a couple different maps, 4 in total. The first one she gives you is the stars you can see in the night sky here in the continent of H.O.P.L.I.T.E. Anything else I can do for you, my lady?
Yes. Cerseus, what did you need again?
We wanted to see the most detailed map you have of the East.
Of course. Anything else?
And do we have on record the contract or peace treaty between Kavorat and the East?
Trade agreement.
Yes, I do believe I could find it. Trade agreement. Yeah. Give me some time.
Thank you.
She walks away, happy to help.
Oh,
as soon as the
she
map
loves her
is
queen.
handed to me, I'm going to take out my personal notebook, set it on the table, and I'm going to, before opening the maps, note where we encountered the future group.
You know that the future group.
Like,
I assume you have the maps somewhere on your phone or something.
Yeah. but just like
The first time you encountered a future group was north of Saxondale. That was before you joined the party, but your group has told you of this before. North of Saxondale. The second time you encountered the future group was in the capital city of Amarith. The third time that you encountered your future group
Uthal.
was in Uthal,
Yes.
the southern continent, the frozen wasteland. The fourth time was in the
Murder.
Deep Forest.
Yes.
but just taking the charcoal I have as the pencil, I'm going to just note it on the maps, and then I'm going to specifically look for the dragon constellation that has the 7.
Roll me an investigation check for me.
All right.
This investigation check is more to figure out how long it will take you to do this.
So north of Saxony.
21.
21. Excellent. So, Eldon, you have the star map out for a little bit of time. The other maps that are being summoned, the maps and then the agreement and all that, they will come in the time you're doing this.
I don't really care about that
You're
stuff.
good. You stay focused on this. While you're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and have these other maps come to the forefront, and then we'll come right back to you. So, the young lady comes back with a stack full of things. I found a lot of things that could constitute for what you are looking for. I did find this, and she puts in front of you about 5 folded, very old pieces of parchment. I believe these are the maps that you might be looking for. Who wants to open it?
Cerseus is dead.
I will.
Okay. Cerseus, as you go up and very carefully open up the very old parchment, you can see a resemblance to the paper that Tamara had before she hid it away from everyone. At the top, you do find the continent that she was talking about with Saren. That continent name is Nakdara. I'll spell it.
Eldon's got it. Eldon's got it.
AHK.
Oh, I was way off.
All right. Hyphen NAHK DARA.
Alex just said, I'm tired of John writing everything down first try. Let me get him.
The other continents are there, but to make sure I give you the proper depth needed, I'll tell you what they are later. But for right now, you do know that the continent that Saren is going to head to is northeast of Ilimsara. Judging by the map, you're not sure how far off of the eastern side of Ilimsara. You all know that Ilimsara is the biggest continent on the plane. But looking at it, kind of judging, Cerseus, roll me a survival check.
Ooh, that's a good one. I have +7 in that. 17.
17. All right. You glance at it. You've been on the ocean quite a good bit, all of you have, and you've all pretty much hated it. But with that hate, with that anger, comes an extreme attention to detail. Cerseus,
Nope.
you're pretty sure the trip from Ilimsara to this continent is probably close to about a month. From here to it, you know it's 3 months to get to Ilimsara. It'll probably take you about half a year to get there by sea.
Wow.
It's a lot of boat time.
Yeah.
And that's only one way too. It's half a year for that trip down to
Yeah.
the mining.
Yeah. You think it's with your limited sailing knowledge. You are also not proficient in water vehicles, but with the time that you were on there, you feel like max half a year. Maybe
Oh boy.
someone skilled on the water can get you there a bit quicker. So,
Oh, this is gonna be a long trip if we decide to go there.
but you do find Nakdara. The other continents I'll reveal to you later. But you do have a map of the Eastern world. The
Is there
lost
any-
Eastern world.
Woo!
Is there any landmarks or like special notations on it?
Well, the map is so old, it looks like it's barely being held together. There's not a lot of design on it, unfortunately. The calligraphy is very beautiful,
Okay.
but besides that, no landmarks, no sea monsters drawn into the water, no nothing like that.
All right.
4 giant krakens around the way.
We might want to have copies of these made so that they don't go and wither away on us.
Is anyone proficient in calligrapher supplies? Or cartographer supplies?
I can hit
Excuse
it.
me.
No.
I hit strong.
Yeah, I hit hard. That's what I do.
I didn't know if the people there were
You are?
proficient.
No, I know how to bring down a building.
Oh.
That's what I'm good at.
And, okay, if no one is, then you can ask someone to do a proper copy of it. Otherwise, it's going to be a little janky.
Yeah.
But with that, Hector, I imagine you and Rona would be looking through the trade agreements and the treaty.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so wow, actually, I should pull up some of the original notes.
Hope your investigation is good.
Is my investigation good?
Better-
It's +4.
Better than mine.
Better than the groups.
Go ahead, both of you roll me an investigation check.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a 3.
I have an inspiration point. I'm gonna spend
Oh,
21.
Oh, it's way better. I'm still just mad there aren't any pictures in there.
Why are there no sea monsters?
It's like Kate Umber all over again. There's no pictures.
And then you found a book with pictures.
Yeah, there we go. I found it.
By the grace of the Lord.
All right, peace treaty, trade agreement. Who's looking at which?
Oh God.
I would be looking for the trade agreement.
All right. You
Peace
would like to
treaty.
look at peace treaty.
Yeah.
Hector, you got a
3.
awesome
21.
21.
It's gonna take a while.
It's gonna take a little bit. Let me pull up the proper.
What'd you
document
get?
for this.
3. Ooh. It's gonna be a couple days.
All right. So, while this is happening and you two are looking, you finish up your star map over regular map.
Yeah.
You hold that first map she gave you, and you're paying very close attention to the distance between certain stars. Along with this, though, does come a map of constellations.
Okay.
You do find the constellation of the dragon.
All right.
You're able to lay this over a normal map, and you find there are 7 points to the constellation of the dragon.
Music just got serious.
Something that could have been discovered a long time ago. But you discover that there are 7 points in the constellation of the dragon. The first point, Saxondale, then Amareth, Nuthal, then the Meredeep Forest.
Oh no! Don't tell me.
The very next point seems to be south of the western wall of Tyrion, buried in the mountains.
That's exactly where we gotta go. That's unfortunate.
Wait,
It's almost like time kind of works that way.
Yeah.
Where's the next one?
The next one is the meeting
Right above
point.
us. Oh no. I'm sorry.
There's another one high up in the uncharted north.
Okay.
And another one
It's right there.
in the center of Alvaron.
Center.
Of Alvaron,
Just
not
being
Ironcrest.
I was gonna say
of
center
Alvaron.
just being dead middle of the country.
So that would be in Midcrest.
Yeah, around Midcrest.
I have a map.
Maps are useful.
I will lift the star map, the constellation map, and I will notate on
Okay.
the maps that I have, and down in the notebook just where these points lay. And then I will gently fold the map back up and hand it to the lady.
Okay. She retrieves the maps from you. Thank you. And she
Very
goes off to put them up.
And then I kind of just slide over to the other table and just wait.
As Hector and
Gone.
Rona are busy looking at this, is there anything you want to say to anyone?
There's no pictures. Why is there no pictures?
I lean over to Rona, as I imagine she's just fervently reading, and I go, I know where the other junctions are. And I will just slide the maps over.
In 1 second. 1 second. 1 second.
It's just like, how are you going to drop this on me mid-read?
So,
It's really enticing.
you are
stuff.
reading through the peace treaty.
Yeah.
Okay. As you read through, just to give a little bit of context of what you are reading through and what happened during that time. So, in the year 1747, Emperor Roman Velasius Toril IV, the Emperor of Al-Dhari, personally took a fleet to Cain Umbra, one of the Cains or kings of the Radesh Dominion, where he had requested an alliance with all the Cain, or an audience, sorry, with all the Cains. In a very tense situation, Emperor Toril requested a peace treaty be signed between the North and the South, the Al-Dhari Empire and the Radesh Dominion, allowing their forces to combine efforts against the Kavorat dynasty, your new land. The Cains agreed, and for both sides, they were rapidly losing soldiers. The Cain-Toril alliance was signed on the third day of Vernal, 1748 YT, combining the forces of the North and South to fight off the Western threat. The majority of the Al-Dhari fleet went south to help fend off Kavorat on the southern border of Radesh, where a lot of naval battles would take place, while soldiers from Radesh, like land soldiers, went north into Al-Dhari to help fight beyond the western wall of Tyrian, the same wall where Eldon fought, the same wall. You helped troops mostly from the south, but you would have in your war medic days
Ventured.
you would have seen you would have remembered this day. This was a big day. Everyone was nervous from going from a three-way war to a peace treaty being signed. The landmines placed beyond the southern wall of Tyrian, the southern kingdom of Al-Dhari, were dismantled, removed, mostly all of them. But as Radesh and its fleet of soldiers, I guess army is a better term for ground troops, but as their army marched through the wall of Kavorat, there was like this tension that you remember when you were young, that like, what if this is a trap? What if they turn? What's going to happen? You don't know. But they marched through the southern wall of Tyrian up towards the western wall and agreed to fight. So it paid off. But and I would say also, Cerseus, you were young, well, younger, but you do remember that Kalesh, your country, your kingdom that you come from, sent a big navy, a big fleet of ships around southern Radesh to help fight the naval battles that were occurring on their border. Continuing on, So the war lasted from this point for 10 more years before the Kavorat forces began to actually recede. The combined armies of Al-Dhari and Radesh began to invade Kavorat for a short time before the Kavorati leadership surrendered, who at the time was your aunt, Rona. The leader of Kavorat, Rosa Vemiar, agreed to make peace with their neighbors while never revealing the motive why Kavorat entered the war in the first place. So it's still a mystery to this day. Maybe Rosa knew it, maybe some others know, but it's not in recorded history. The assembly that took place it led to the peace treaty that you have. It's called the Tirafel Alliance. And the treaty did mainly benefit Radesh and Al-Dhari, but it did allow for restricted trading. The key word here being restricted, but it does state in the peace treaty that these trades would go on to be heavily monitored. But it never says anything about a change. It never says anything about changing what is being traded, which, you know, that is a big reason why the Kavorat dynasty is so adamant about attacking the eastern countries again. The trade has dwindled down to barely nothing. What they are getting are scraps. But
per the trade or per the peace treaty, it didn't have to be consistent. It just had to be monitored.
It had it didn't say anything about changing, so it's kind of a loophole, if you will.
Gotcha.
The trade is mentioned in the trade agreement, which is what Hector now reads.
Follow with the 3.
The important thing that you pull from this, after a long time of like blah blah blah, you kind of skip through all like the crazy little details. You see Ashanga's name come up once. You read that real quick. Ashanga Yor, the Tower of Yor. You know that. That was the big spy tower that's used to peer over the walls. That is meant to view the trades as they take place. You learn that. But
Is my father's name on it?
roll me one more investigation check. Just to look for your father's name.
Oh, not nat 20.
Oh, not 20.
That's better.
Hey, let's go.
You look through.
I know.
It did have to be signed by all kings of their kingdoms within the empire. You do see your father's name.
That's cool.
So, as you continue to read, the biggest thing that you do find is that there was it's mainly food that is being transported. It's food, grain, things for farming. Some tools. The tools were supposed to be a one-time thing with small re-ups here and there, but mostly grain, food, things to actually start farming. But in the trade agreement, you do not find anything stating a change, when something should end, anything like that. It simply states until Kavorat is stable enough to sustain itself.
So it doesn't have any like hard time points.
It doesn't have a hard time point.
Oh, great.
Judging from this, you can tell Al-Dhari and Radesh might be in the wrong.
But they also might not be.
It's kind of gray.
Like what if
everything.
But
what
yeah,
if
but it's
Rosa
pretty.
stated that they were stable, that they were stabilizing, or gave the impression they were stabilizing.
Rosa could have said something
You
about.
also know, sitting kind of probably in the council room by now, is Ezekiel Dawnbringer. Your new companion.
I like that
Makara, who Queen Rose of Emiar was able to reach out and make an alliance with. Whether that was discovered, who knows?
It's just so play it out this way. Say my aunt somehow let loose or slip intentionally that Kavorat was stabilizing, and Al-Dhari and Radesh could pull back. Then she tells her people that they pulled back. That
For
gives
no
them
reason.
right. That gives them an incentive to go to war. She could have been manipulating it.
Right.
Why not ask for transcripts of conversations? Someone would have been jotting down records on both sides of the conversations.
That's true, but my entire existence here right now is because of her telling two different stories to people.
Var speaks up.
If she's telling two different stories.
So what, sister? You're queen now. They're afraid of you invading them, not the other way around. What does it matter?
Who's afraid of me invading?
I'm just saying, the whole reason why we're even here is because our emperor is afraid Kavorat will start another war.
Because they have every reason to.
Do they? With you now?
I guess
They may
not.
stabilize soon, but it's still, the hearts haven't healed. There's still got to be something done.
True. I mean,
Roseanne, who has been silent this whole time, speaks up. Don't forget about the South. My father, he's relentless. He's making his moves right now as we speak. I don't know if it's to Radesh, or if it's what Sakavo told us. It could be to your country. Possibly even to your own kingdom.
right. So, regardless of what Northern Kavorat's doing, Southern Kavorat has to be stopped immediately.
Yes. Everything that we did, dismantling the maw, setting loose the prisoners of the Screaming Isles. We
Oh.
dismantled my father's entire operation. I still need to go. I still need to face him. But while you all continue into Al-Dhari, I'm going to stay back.
That seems wise. Do you think you can do it on your own, or do you need something else?
A rebellion took a massive hit when we distracted for the maw, but we should be okay. Besides, you know, it was Rose's regime that created that magical trap barrier around Kavorat. Now, with you in charge, you could turn off the surrounding towers. You could make it so that any message sent within Kavorat is no longer traced. That's your choice.
I mean, that seems like the obvious decision to make, right?
It would be for me. It would be for establishing peace, I think. But, my queen, Honora, that is your call.
Right.
He walks over to Turles. You can just kind of hear him. They started out a rough, in a rough patch. But we have a dog down there. It's cute. But he walks over to Turles. Rough seeing family from so long ago. And he sits down and just tries to talk to him, comfort him about what all was happening with tomorrow. What do we do? What's going on?
How much time has passed?
It's been nearly an hour.
I did want to, like, while they're going through all that, try and get someone who can trace the map.
Oh,
Would that have been possible?
Roll me
Perception
persuasion
or
check.
investigation?
persuasion.
A what?
A persuasion check.
Ooh. I get plus 13 on those. so thank you.
Yeah.
26.
26. You kind of walk around the the archives looking for another someone here, and you ask around very charismatically about if anyone is a cartographer here, which surprisingly the first person you find happens to be one. You ask them the simple task, and you mention you're friends with the Queen. They don't believe you at first, but then they walk around, see the Queen standing in the archives with the rest of your group. And as Rona looks over and rolls her eyes at you, the lady says, "Oh yes, I'll get right on that for you. No problem whatsoever for any friend of the Queen." And she begins to expertly trace a map. If you want it to be good, it will have to be picked up maybe in the morning.
That's fine. I appreciate all your help.
I'll have it ready, 9 a.m. sharp.
See you then.
So, anyone else before it's council time?
So we have to walk and talk. What is this? As I'm walking towards this council room.
I'm actually gonna take the trade agreement. I want to put it in my bag.
Make me a sleight of hand check.
I'm not trying to hide it.
Oh, okay.
Mine.
I'll just say it because like he's like, okay, this is useful.
I mean,
you put it in there.
What do you mean it's wrong?
You put
Is
it
that
in there.
the only copy?
I don't know. We put it in there, and a lady, one of the ladies, do kind of see what you're doing. But you're with the Queen, so it's okay. So don't really worry
I'm
about
causing so many problems.
it. Just today alone.
Just
This is a horrible situation.
day one on Queen, making everybody wish Rosa was still around.
However, is it council time? Queen.
We were walking and talking
Okay.
about the star map.
Go ahead. Continue your Tempest Junction talk.
Just still holding up the maps. Kind of like taped them with a little paste at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so this will tell us the exact encounter points with them.
Huh.
And I will just point and just drawn lines between the points. Next one, dead center of the mountains. We could just subvert that entirely.
But we have to go that way.
Teleport.
I mean, I guess Cersei's can teleport, yes.
Exactly. We just avoid that entire thing.
But
And
do
then
we,
wake
I
up
am
there.
a magic user.
But do we need them? We might need them. This is for another time.
Technically, yes, but I see your point.
Okay.
I just had to know we know where to encounter and prepare. And I will just.
Okay.
All right. You make your way to the council chamber. Do you wish to have your companions with you,
I
or
want
do
the
this
main
alone?
party,
Okay.
and not to confuse it with anybody else.
I don't want
so-
no NPCs.
Celsius, Eldon, and Hector and Rona, Varble.
Var will
sit
stay
on
in the
outside.
archives
Yeah.
because he's busy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because he's far.
But as you all head in, Ozymandias sitting in the chair he was at, the familiar large circular room with the large oval table, 4 chairs only. A big one for you, and then 3 others equidistant apart. For Ozymandias, your right-hand man. For Lady Varen, the spy master of MER, a human red-headed woman. Looks like she may be in her 50s. And Saval Abhor, general of the Vemiar troops, a bugbear, wearing pretty decent armor for a bugbear. But Ozymandias stands up along with Lady Varen and Saval. They all stand up as you enter, wait for you to approach your seat and sit down. As you do, the rest of them sit down. The rest of the party takes that stance kind of behind Ozymandias where you guys were last time. Chairs off to the side. But as you guys walk over there, Ozymandias begins this council meeting. I would like to assure you that your friend, Saren, and that pirate, Tamara, and your monk friend who surprised our guards, Corwin, they have gotten their rowboat back. And he glances past you, where behind you is that large window peering out into the Western Ocean. The sun definitely below the horizon now, but the moon is bright tonight. And as you look out, you can just barely make out a small rowboat sailing away under the moonlight. And if you look a little bit farther, you can just barely make out a ship, a silhouette of a ship in the distance.
Cool.
Unharmed, but we do have a few things to discuss. It is under the impression of everyone at this table, aside from you, that you do not plan to stay in Kavorat much longer.
For a short amount of time.
As I have told you earlier, the citizens of Kavorat, they've waited over 2 decades for you, for the return of the lost child, the promised child. They can wait a little while longer. If you need to complete tasks that you have unfinished, we understand. In your stead, the 3 of us can keep things going under the new management you wish for it to be in. Which, if that is the case, we do have a few things to discuss. As far as it goes with the betrayer Iso in the south, what are your plans?
He will be dealt with. I believe his son has some unfinished business.
Does he need troops?
He believes he can do it on his own.
Would you like to send troops?
I'll lean in. It's like, he can use all the help he can get.
Understood. I would like to speak with this prince. I can meet with him later.
Okay.
But for now, if you trust him to deal with the threat to the south, we can move over that topic for now. The trade deal that was broken. We've spoken about it before. Al-Dhari must be dealt with. A lot of citizens wish for Al-Dhari to be invaded. What do you say?
Hector, do you still have it?
I do. I'll reach in. It's like, I found in your archives the trade agreement between Al-Dhari, Radesh, and Kavorat. As you know who I am, I will go seek the counsel of the Emperor and talk on your behalf.
Roll me a persuasion check.
You gotta check. Oh, no, man. I put my thing up.
Can I give him my inspiration as well?
I got
If he needs
I got a 16.
Persuasion? You have advantage on persuasion.
I have a persuasion on advantage if my halo is out and if the character is considered a good alignment.
The halo has to be
If the
out.
halo is out.
It has to be and. It's and.
Yes, it's part of like if I have the halo out, then I have advantage on characters with good
16
alignment.
though?
He did pop
Yes.
it out in the library.
I will say you can't.
Yeah.
If you're alright, so we do inspiration points, but if you're a player and you want to gift an inspiration point to another, you gotta do it before the roll.
Before.
Yeah, but
I tried to.
He did say before I rolled, but I didn't acknowledge it.
you know what? We'll give it to him. Cerseus, you can mark off your inspiration point. Hector, you can roll with advantage just in case.
25.
Oh man!
Thank you, Tyler.
I'm glad I did
Oh,
that.
that's almost a whole 10 better.
All right. So with the 25. A peaceful approach. Tell me, Honora, my queen, all of you, Al-Dhari in Radesh. They look at us as savages, do they not?
Yes.
The methods used in the last war.
Were of desperation.
Yes, they were. However, whether we had the South's tactics or not, Iso was a very powerful war ally. Without the betrayer, our armies alone in the north are not enough to successfully invade, not without certain tactics. However, I believe I speak for all of us here at this table, glancing to Lady Varen and Savala, that this approach would most likely be the best approach, at least for now. We will await word of what the Emperor has to say for the breaking of this agreement. I trust you. Moving on. We already dealt with the Radeshi spies, but we still have the 214th voyage to Uthal to talk about. The entire crew, 16 passengers in total, are captured within the cells below us, along with the hull of their crystals, anti-gravitational in nature. What do we wish to do with them, Rona? Honora?
Well, seeing the 212th, these crystals are their livelihood. They need this to support their families. That being said, I don't know what Radesh is doing with them, and it could behoove us to figure that out. Perhaps before we allow them to... Well, they wouldn't know, I guess. Our crew didn't know.
If I may suggest, buy it from them.
That's a great idea.
Could this not ignite another war, though? If they are freed and released? Kavorat made the first aggressive move. And now there's a reason to start another war.
I would say include
If we
them in
take
the
it
city
from them.
Include them in the city until we come back with the Emperor's word. Then you'll know whether you can release them or not.
Ozymandias will lift a gavel and smack it into the table. This is for the Queen to decide.
You have our counsel.
Buy it from them. And release them.
Lady Varen, if you do not already know the price that they are paid upon returning to Radesh, discover it, or we can ask them. Or, unless you all know, what is a proper amount to pay them for their troubles?
How much did we make?
We made a lot.
Wasn't
Didn't
it
we
like,
make like 30K?
like a piece?
Yeah, 30K a piece.
But they can carry more now, since they don't need to pay protectors.
Oh,
That's true.
Well, I'm sure that you don't have to pay them premium price, as they'll probably just be grateful they get to go home at this point.
understandable. I will do that. We will pay them a price reasonable for their situation. They will not go home with less than they intended to.
Excellent.
The crystals, however, will be kept here. And at your word, whatever to be done with them, done with them.
If only we had a Vatul.
So, moving on. Do we wish to keep, the door opens, and you see Ezekiel quickly rush in. Sorry. Hector, look good. He just kind of stands next to you. Perfect timing.
God.
Thank you.
Do we wish to keep the same trade agreement we have with Ukara? They are sending troops that were supposed to be used for a possible attack on Al-Dhari. We still have the population of the far western Ilimsara to help us. The clan with roughly 100,000 troops. That's a lot of troops. What do you wish to do with them?
Can the city house them and feed them?
The Black Sands are regressing, yes, but
Nothing's
for them to
planted.
bear food, it will take some time, I imagine.
I do too.
We can house the Golden Lions. As far as it goes for Ilimsara, they've been fine, and 100,000 is a massive influx to a population. They are not here yet, mind you. A good number of the 5,000 troops from Ilimsara are already here, whether they be in the Ukara Watch, or the Embassy, or here in Castle Bemiar. All of Ilimsara has been only through messages so far. No troops are actually here in Kavorat as of yet. We actually never intended for them to be here. It was meant to be a naval attack.
Right.
If we do not wish to go forth with a naval attack, we will have to discuss alternate agreements with them.
I'll lean into Rona's ear so I don't keep like overstepping my boundaries. I'll like whisper to her, just try to make sure she's the only one that can hear. It might not be a bad idea if the Ukaran troops are kept out of the northern along with the city, and you can use them to help Velzan in the south. That can help you keep control over Oasis and help counterattack anything they might have coming.
The current Ukaran troops. Could we send them with Veldan?
You hear the chair creak as he turns to look at Ezekiel. Yes, we could. We are at your disposal. With the trade agreement that was created with your aunt, it's already underway. We are here as part of that agreement.
No, of course, I don't...
What I'm saying is, as a commander of the Golden Lions, as commander of these troops, I do not see a problem.
Okay. That will help with... I think Kavarati people are tired of spilling their family's blood.
I understand. We will fight for your people. We will fully dismantle the South. We will finish what you all started.
Where the troops from Ilimsara may... I think that would put too much of a burden on us right now.
I will deal with the Ilimsara troops. Don't worry about them. It was mainly my project anyways. But with all that
Let
out
us
of...
keep good relations with them, though, as much as we can.
Of course. With all of that out of the way,
Is it Ilimsara or Ukara?
we only have one more thing to talk about.
Okay.
Ilimsara was coming.
Sorry.
We have one more thing to discuss. Our spies in northern Al-Dhari have located a Shangiyor and a very odd ship with sails on its underside, seemingly floating.
Yeah.
I wonder what that could be.
Oh, man.
Retract the spies. I assume.
You assume correctly.
Looks over to the spy master, Lady Varen. We worked hard to get that far into Al-Dhari. Very mountainous region you come from.
Yes.
Anyways,
I commend your efforts, and I'm sure you're compensated well.
lost many troops. But anyways.
Okay. And Rona's gonna stand up.
Ozzy stands up.
I don't even know where to start, so let's just try the beginning. I do not know what I'm doing. Politics were never my forte.
She opened her mouth to almost say something, and then you silence her. Inspiration point.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Go, sister. Show them how it's done.
I did not know or understand about the task that Shantea had placed upon my shoulders until approximately 3 months ago. I was terrified to even show my face here. Not because I distrust Shantea in any way, but because up until a few months ago, I had considered Kavorat the enemy. That is how I was raised. And it was not fair to any of you to have a queen on your throne that recently, even considered that you may not be. The things that I have done today, though irritating, I am sure, in no way reflect me wanting to betray Kavorat. I do not want to see you fall. I do not want to see us fall. But you need to understand that there are things out there bigger than these petty wars that last for hundreds of years. That is all this will start. I understand that you have lost hundreds of thousands of troops and lives. There is not a single nation on this continent that can say anything different. We are the same. So, understanding all of that information, and I will sit back down.
Ozzy will sit down as well.
Know that I am in your corner. I am not trying to throw people away like they were garbage or trash. But we need to work together if we are going to survive.
Well said, my queen. I will retract my spies in northern Al-Dhari. I will retract my spies in eastern Marfell. I will retract my spies deep within Tyrion, hiding amongst the workers of the wall. And I shall retract my spies across Radesh as well, if that's what you would like.
How good are your spies?
How good are you at peace?
Could you send spies into Ironcrest?
Oh, that's.
Ooh.
I have a few,
Hector's like, whoa.
but I don't trust any of them as much as I trust myself. Why, my queen?
We have heard rumor that Southern Kavorat have been doing something. They've been doing something underneath Ironcrest, and I wanted to know if it was real. And I know Ashenga Yor is on it, but I definitely cannot tell him that Kavorat is too.
I will reach out to you. She stands up. I have a lot of work to do. I believe this concludes everything. Ozzy? Ozymandias. Yes, my queen, unless there is anything else you wish to say.
Thank you. I know that you potentially expected somebody very different sitting before you today.
Saval, the bugbear, speaks up. I did. But I like you.
That's kind. Thank you. I will fight for you. And I am no stranger to fighting.
Ezekiel speaks up. That was beautiful.
Whoa.
Good job, Rona.
Wow.
Honora.
Quit flirting.
Right, well, with that, slams the gavel one more time. This council meeting is adjourned. If you would like, Rona, you could leave in the morning. We have what we need to do what we've talked about. I have the capability to contact you. Need anything, should anything go wrong.
Oh, the the border around Kavorat, that magical barrier.
Yes.
How easy is it to drop that?
Say the word.
I'd like it down.
Very well. It was an idea of your aunt's.
And I'm sure it protected your borders.
Look over to Lady Varen. Right. Best of luck, my queen.
Thank you.
Walks away. You think she's pretty upset about taking down the bubble.
Whatever.
But,
She's
Ozzy,
like, you're a Shenga.
very
Whatever.
well. We'll contact the towers. I will have them remove the barrier.
As a sign of good faith and peace.
Let's hope that it works.
You may both.
Right. Saval, in case that tower of yore is watching over the western wall, let us retract our troops. Saval. All right then. Queen.
General.
He just kind of nods to everyone as he walks off. It's a drastic change with the way things have been here in Kavorat for the past couple of years. So, don't take anything personally that you see. A lot of people are changing the way they are on a day-to-day basis right now. But we'll do everything we can to fulfill your wishes, my queen. And if you wish in the morning, I can have carriages ready for you. Sandrakes. Fastest things on the sand there is. Take you to wherever you need to go.
Thank you.
When are you leaving?
And I'll just kind of like look over at Hector and the rest of the group as soon as possible, I suppose.
Yes.
I will not.
Very much so.
Eat up and sleep well.
Which brings me to my next question. Where do we sleep?
Allow me to show you. He takes you all to the royal chambers, where there is one room dedicated to you, and it is massive. Massive bed, the whole shebang. But every other room is kind of like a royal guest room, essentially. So there's enough for everyone to have individual beds or sleep with someone. Up to you. But when you walk
Or
in...
Zeke.
Yeah, which one's Zeke's room?
I was about to
be
say,
talking to
hey
Gideon?
there, dog.
When you walk into your room, Ozymandias opens the door for you, and as you walk in, it's beautiful. There are 4 posts that hold up the ceiling of this massive. It's almost like it's like a dome at the top. On the top, an old painting, much like the Vatican. A painting foretelling the promised child. You see a picture of your mother, of your father, a portrait. This isn't, super accurate, but you can tell. A rose that leads off, and another rose that leads off. One rose black, and one rose red. The vine continues towards the center of the ceiling, where you see the symbol of MER, the entwined thorny stems of 2 roses. As the vines continue above that image, however, you do see one thing that just sets you just a little off. The red rose vine leads to a beautiful young girl, and the black rose vine leads to a dark elven looking young boy, hair covering his face. It's eerie, but the design about it is just nice enough to not really bother you, even though you know what this entails. However, the 4 columns that hold up this dome, they're strung out with the satin kind of curtains are just like all throughout. You have like the big candelabras that are placed all around. It looks, it's almost Greek. Bed in the middle, and a beautiful on the opposite side of the room from when you walk in, massive about 3 double doors that actually open out to a massive balcony overlooking the western sea. As you walk in the far distance, one more time, you can see what you believe to be the Freedom Zone, Tamara's ship, heading south. So, the rest of you have your rooms. Rona, you have your very fancy room. Food is provided to everyone. Whatever you want, meat, vegetables, drinks, ale, wine, anything.
Can Abe fit in?
Yo, absolutely.
Okay. Is Icaros like?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Big doors for big egos.
Oh, dang.
However,
Yeah, you hear that?
However, you all sleep where you want to sleep. I think the only 2 I really got to worry about is...
I'm going to be very irked if Icaros doesn't have a loft somewhere.
Where's his bed?
Icaros, without asking, walks into your room.
Just fall behind him.
Just
Icaros!
walks past, over to the balcony, and lays on the balcony of your room, Rona.
Nice.
Very stubborn. Now that he's sat down and found a good space to lay, he now acknowledges you, Hector. Turns to you.
Yes, father.
I guess my room doesn't have that.
Abe walks by you, Hector, and kind of bumps you into Rona. As Abe walks towards, Abe the direwolf, walks towards the balcony to hang out with his buddy Icaros, the griffin.
Well, they're cute.
These animals have gained a lot of attitude recently.
Your bird has always had attitude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ozymandias. Good night, then.
Good night.
Good night.
He gives you an extra eye, Hector, as he closes the door.
Did I inherit a dad too? It's funny.
So, with that, if there's anything important to say, we will go to sleep. On this day, everyone can long rest.
I can't remember the last time we long rested.
It's been a minute.
Been a hot second.
So,
I did it.
now, Cerseus.
Get debated. He looked dead at you and went,
So, Cerseus, as you sleep, you have a little bit of trouble falling asleep for some reason. Every time that you get close, something just startles you awake, almost like that feeling when you're falling. But as you keep shifting awake, you realize you still have the shard on you. You pull it out of your, kind of got smushed between you and the bed. You pull it out from under you, and you just kind of examine it. As you look at it, you begin to become entranced by it.
This wasn't what I thought it would be.
It's almost like staring into a void. This black crystal has no reflective properties at all. As you stare into it, it is almost like you are staring into a void of space. And the longer you stare, you can barely make out a voice. Roll me a perception check.
Soft 20.
The voice you hear, male. Age, you're not certain, but definitely an adult. And you hear, find the rest. Once again, you hear it again, just a little bit louder. Find the rest. I chose you to find the rest. You get startled and you see something fly at you. Make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Nah, I'm not gonna even.
Don't you?
I was gonna question if I'm like within 10 feet of Dylan.
Oh, but no. No, you are not.
I'm in bed with
11.
11. You, in your flee for a second, as you try to shield yourself from whatever this object is barreling at you, you just hold up your arms in front of your face before you hear a clang of metal. You look at your right arm. The gauntlet is there.
Okay.
And it crawls up now to your shoulder.
Huh?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
And burning through the iron of this gauntlet, a design similar to the design that is now on your skin. Veins that seem to glow now cover the gauntlet, almost in a radiant light. You feel the urge to stand up, move your arm around, feel its full range of motion. As you do, you hear the voice behind your head. You hear, "Find them." And as you turn, your vision... roll me a wisdom saving throw, actually.
His dreams are so intense, man.
And how?
I'm worried about the rest of us.
16.
16. As you turn, almost like Lord of the Rings style, your vision zooms at an incredibly fast pace. You can make out just bits and pieces. You can see the black mountains that separate Kavorat, Al-Dhari, and Radesh. Your vision goes over Al-Dhari, past Marfell, through the ocean. You can see just a small blip of land, just briefly, known to be the Pirate Islands. And it continues until you reach the forefront of a new continent, Ilimsara, or as you were told. Your vision zooms past even more to the Black Lands that Ilimsara has gained after the falling 2 millennia ago, nearly. 1,500 years ago, actually. So, as your vision hits the Black Lands, it stops. You feel dizzy and you fall. When you fall in the Black Lands. Below you is no longer stone and pillows off to the side in a candlelit room, but instead you are now, at the time it is right now, it's morning? And this place, it's not toxic like the Black Sands were, but you hear a jittering laughter. You look forward and you see a couple of grotesque beings climbing your way over a little bit of rubble of rock, or maybe stone of a fallen structure, you're not sure. As it crawls over, they begin to make their way to you. And when they realize that you're standing there, or laying there rather, they begin to run. You quickly stand up, and as you stand up, you're back in your room. You hear, "Find the rest. But be careful. He who claims to own you will be there."
Oh.
You then wake up from a dream. And as you look over to your right arm, the entire arm now encased in iron. Torm's gauntlet, or its representation of it to you, has grown to be more of a part of you. Eldon.
I'm the reverse Winter Soldier.
As you try to sleep, you actually get your first real night's, a good night's sleep, first time in Kavorat. It's been a long time. As you sleep, however, you can't help but understand that in Al-Dhari, there's still a threat. To you, to your father, and to your new family, and your new wife. Although you are dealing with bigger issues, they are still at large. Candace Aaron, a mob boss of sorts that has sought out and hired assassins to kill you and your family for the death of her sister years ago. year ago. You can't help but wonder how she's doing. How your wife is doing. Bessie. As you lay over in your bed, a dream starts to take place. You're in a warmly lit house. Laying next to you is a beautiful and short red-headed Bessie, pregnant with a child. You lay there for a moment and it feels like you're actually there, but you know it's a dream. You reach over and you place your hand on her pregnant stomach. Without saying a word to each other, there's almost an acknowledgement of what is going on. Your foreheads touch. And as you flip over to the other side, you are back in the current room within Castle of MER. But you feel empowered. Something to fight for, something that you have gained, something that you can still have. Rona. Get to you in a second. Hector.
Oh, get you baited.
Hector,
Yeah, Hector time.
as you lay with Rona next to you, you wake up parched, thirsty, exhausted? I don't know. You wake up. You walk over to a pitcher of water and you pour yourself a little cup. As you walk out towards the balcony to where sleeping Abe, direwolf lie, and Icaros, who perks up as you walk by, or as you walk over to the balcony. You reach out one hand, you pet Icaros, you drink your water, and you look out far off the western sea. You take another drink. Your cup now empty. Give Icaros one more pet. Look at Abe, give a smirk for how cute he is. And you turn into the hallway of spears.
Oh,
At the far end, you can just barely see the statue. The statue from one long time ago where you claimed a weapon of your god, the martyrdom. A javelin of very magical properties. You know how the hallway works. You begin to step forth. The spears do not come out to attack you, though. And you step forth again. As you walk forth, the statue that was once of Ilmater, the god of endurance, is no more. But instead, you see a statue of yourself. Except the weapon penetrating you is a hammer. What do you do?
I can't let my fear conquer me. So, I'll put my foot upon myself. I'll pull.
Roll me an athletics check.
Yeah. 27.
Beautiful. As you pull, you feel your hands grip the shaft of this hammer that is embedded into your chest. And as you pull, it breaks free. And as you look at the hammer, almost mechanically it begins to open up, similar to how Godbreakers worked. It's fascinating. But as you look up to the statue that was once you, or that it was once Ilmater, now you feel a hand touch your shoulder. Out of the corner of your eye, you see a scarred, bruised, and beaten hand wrapped in red ribbon. And a few words whispered into your ear. You are ready. You are ready. As you stand there, grasping the hammer, you take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you look down and you have squeezed the hell out of that cup.
Whoops.
You look at it. It was like a beaten brass. You kind of put it back on the counter and then scuffle off to bed. As you crawl back in bed quietly, Rona, you shift awake just a little bit. You feel Hector's warmth next to you as he begins to settle down once more. You kind of lean over to him, rest your head on his shoulder. You just barely hear, sorry, I think I squeezed a cup too hard. You chuckle. you both begin to just kind of go to sleep. We'll deal with it in the morning.
I'll show you in the morning.
But as you go to sleep, you hear crying. Happy or sad, you cannot tell. But you can hear it. You find yourself standing in a void. Nothing around you, nothing for miles, nothing you see at all.
That's
But-
creepy.
You kind of walk towards this crying. And then you see it, just a barely noticeable door with a small little bit of light coming out from under it. The door does not look like it's Kavorat at all. It looks like it's from back home. You step forth and you push open the door. And you see a woman that you've only seen once before. Your mother. She cries. As you walk near, you see on the floor next to her a pamphlet, a newsletter stating that Radesh was able to break past the wall. And that troops made it to your family's hometown, where she dropped you off as a baby. On it, it says, no survivors. Confused, your mother keeps on crying. She reaches over and grabs a cloth. It's almost like a napkin, a very fancy napkin. She retracts and holds it close to her chest. And you can just barely hear. She's whispering something. You don't think that she even recognizes that you're here. You lean down, try to listen to what it is that she says. Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
You got it.
18.
18. You hear no one cried for me. No one ever cried for me.
Oh.
The mother's head jolts in your direction very quickly, and through hair covering the face, you do not see your mother. You see the distorted, almost demonic vision of your half-brother, Score, as he jolts to grab you. You see a green light spark from behind him, and a dark-skinned hand reach forward and grab the back of your mother's hair, then pull back. You hear Score shout out, almost like he was surprised. And as he's pulled back, someone new stands before you. Anora. You see a man. His eyes do not lock onto you, giving the impression that he may be blind. Bald on his head, but with a long white beard. Looks like it hasn't been combed or tamed at all in decades. What he's wearing resemble mostly rags, but he has a staff very similar to your brother's.
Who are you?
Anora. Come to Golhona. Find me. You have done well, Protector. And as he turns to walk away, he takes a couple of steps and he blurs out of your vision completely. Gone. You're back in that void. And as you turn around to see if there's anything else here, you do see one rose sprouting out of the void, about 50 feet away. As you walk up to it, you lean down and you touch it. You pull the vine, and it doesn't snap, but instead it's like pulling it out of the ground. But it goes all the way up to your standing position and still firm enough to hold its own. And you look into the rose and you swear you hear a voice. Now is our time. A voice you're not sure if you've heard before, but immediately comes off to you and grants you a sense of peace and tranquility. The voice of your goddess.
For what? No time for what?
A time to right the wrongs. A time to return. We've been waiting so long. The four of you will right the wrongs. Together.
4. There's 5 of us.
You speak again and you feel yourself being shaken awake. Hector, Rona was frantically speaking in her sleep. You shook her awake to get her out of there, worried because a lot of weird, funky dream stuff has happened before where enemies have invaded your nightmares. So you wake her up, worried.
Rona, are you all right?
Score. But...
He was there.
Yeah, but there was someone else. We're supposed to find him?
Perception check, Rona. Or passive perception, rather.
Passive is 17. I should remember this by now. 17.
As you're talking, you look up and you realize in that beautiful painting on the ceiling, where there once was Score, is now a rose. It looked like it went from blackened to red.
What is going on? I'll get up out of bed.
You get up. Abe notices you're up. You hear him and his massive self start to paw his way into the room, worried about you.
We're supposed to meet somebody, but then, Shantea, was like, it's time to right the wrongs and put us back. I think we know what that means, but she said 4 of us. There's 5 of us. She said there's... And now scores arose. Where's Var? And I'm gonna, wander out of the room.
You wander out of the room. You go to Var's room, I guess. He is still in there as you just peek open the door. He's sleeping, sound asleep.
Okay. Weird.
As you walk back to join Hector, you peer out and begin to see just a little bit of daylight that comes from beyond your vision, casting itself into the beautiful view of the Western Ocean. Morning has come.
I'll walk up and I'll put my arm around her, pull her in. That's it'll be all right. They haven't failed us yet. Whatever they have in store, we just need to remember to have faith.
I mean, you're right. You're right.
I mean, look at it so far. Turned out to be a pretty awesome queen. The way you talked that girl down, that was something.
It's something my mother used to do to me all the time. Mostly to Var. It was actually mostly to me, but I'm going to tell people it was mostly to Var.
As you talk to each other, you look over Rona and you see a crushed cup next to the pitcher of water.
That was not a dream. What did you do?
I guess we both had weird dreams. I was back in that hallway where I found the martyrdom.
Oh, I hated that hallway.
Yeah, I wasn't very fond of it either. But instead of a martyr, it was me. Instead of the javelin, it was a hammer.
So, as you guys stare out over the Western Ocean, that is where we are going to end this chapter. We will pick up next week. So, thank you all for stopping by, and we hope you enjoyed your time here. For now, we must part. But do stop by again soon. Stay safe out there, traveler, and keep moving forward until we meet again. Goodbye.
Ow.
Bye.